Welcome to the Uganda Trade Portal www.ugandatrades.go.ug, Uganda's one-stop shop for information on trade, a system developed by the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives with the support from TIMEA, USA, UNCTAD and ITC. The core of the Uganda Trade Portal system is the database of trade procedures. Procedures are presented in a step-by-step format from the user's point of view and not from the point of view of the institutions. For example, a trader wishing to export avocados will select Export and Fruits and Vegetables. If she wants to import medicine, she will select Import and Pharmaceutical Products. Let's say that I want to export coffee. I select Export, then Coffee. The system shows the preliminary registrations, licenses and certificates I must obtain, which are issued by the government agencies that regulate the commodity, then the permits I must obtain for each consignment, and the clearance process. Here, I can choose the entry and exit point, and then, depending on the value of my goods, the associated clearance procedure at the border point, for instance, Malaba. But I also have the option to see the full procedure view, all the steps that are necessary to export coffee for a trader exporting the commodity for the very first time. Let's have a closer look at this procedure. I see that I have to go through 31 steps. First, I have to register with the Uganda Export Promotion Board. 2 steps. Register with the single window. 2 steps. Obtain exporter registration with single window. Also 2 steps. Then obtain performance bond. 4 steps. Obtain a coffee export license. 6 steps. I will then obtain a letter of registration of sales contract in 1 step. Obtain a quality certificate and ICO certificate of origin in 3 steps. Obtain a certificate of origin 3 steps. Obtain the phytosanitary certificate 4 steps. The consignment will be cleared inland in 3 steps, and I will obtain the release at the point of exit in 1 step. Altogether, 31 steps. In addition to the list of steps, I see a summary of the procedure. There are 11 institutions involved. I will get 13 different results. For example, the Quality Certificate, the East African Community Certificate of Origin, and for this I will have to give 38 forms and documents such as the Phytosanitary Certificate that I will receive at step 26 and then give to Customs at step 27. I can see the cost of the operation. It will depend on the value of my consignment, and I can estimate my cost directly using the evaluation tool. I see the total duration from 7 to 19 days, and I am given access to all laws and regulations that justify this procedure and its contents. This already gives me a good idea of the procedure. But if I want more details, I can go step by step. For example, step 11. Apply for coffee export license. I see where I have to go, the entity in charge, the unit in charge, and the person in charge. Then what they will give me, the result of the step, registration in the application register, the documents I have to submit at this step, for example, the application for coffee export license form, which I can download and fill at home. The time it will take, 5 to 10 minutes waiting in a queue, 5 to 10 minutes at the counter, and 2 to 3 days until I can move to the next step. I see a list of regulations that justify this step and the person I can complain to in case I have a problem with this step. This is generally the manager of the entity in charge of this step. I can also report problems online and even suggest a simplification. Those messages go to the Secretariat of the National Committee on Trade Facilitation. The information is the same for all these steps. I see that some steps can be undertaken online. They are flagged with an orange globe. I can make a customs entry online by clicking on the Apply Online button. One of the most important features of the trade portal system is that any institution involved in regulating or promoting trade can embed the procedures database onto their own websites in a few minutes. For example, on the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives website, under the Export and Import Procedures tab, you will find the same information as on the Uganda Trade portal. The system also shows statistics on trade procedures embedding data from the International Trade Center and the Observatory of Economic Complexity. This shows in-depth data on goods exported, imported, including destination and original markets. Export Potential Map shows the commodities with high growth potential or with untapped opportunities on international markets. The information of the Uganda Trade Portal will be constantly updated to reflect changes in regulations and procedures. New modules will also be progressively added to the portal, such as searchable tariff database, information on market requirements, and other key facilitation tools developed under the auspices of the National Committee for Trade Facilitation.